Hey there YouTube, Errol here, the Comic Chief. Today kicks off my first review of the Avengers, the final host story arc. And I'm kicking it off with issue number 691, or number 1 of the 2018 volume series. So Jason Aaron writes this masterpiece, and I have to say it's the first time I feel like I can dig into the Avengers assembly. Actually, to be quite honest, the first time, or the last time I read an issue number 1 was Bendis' New Avengers number 1, and it was decent. So I ended up picking up the Land Party variant, and I kind of wish that I had gone with the original cover, support the artist. But this one's pretty awesome. You've got the 1 million BC Avengers with Deadpool on the forefront. See that? And this issue picks up right away with action. Action taking place as soon as you flip the book open. I'm telling you, like page number 1, let's go. Here you'll find the 1 billion Avengers consisting of the Black Panther, Iron Fist, Phoenix, Thor, Ghost Rider, Agamotto, the Sorcerer Supreme, and Ape-Man. And it's actually really dope. If you haven't read Marvel Legacy number 1, where's that? I suggest you check it out. I have this lenticular version. And this is actually one of the first comics that I got back into. I got it at WonderCon last year. So these Avengers are so awesome. For example, Ghost Rider running this cute woolly mammoth. I think that's actually really cool. I actually didn't really dig the idea in Legacy 1, but having them on the first 8 pages battling out in this one is so epic. You have them battling the first Celestial, or the first Celestial host, and which, by the way, Celestials have been featured throughout Marvel history, making their first appearance debut with the Eternals number 1. I still have to get that. I don't have it, but it's on my bucket list, and I'm sure that Marvel is going to make a movie out of them next. Okay, so these ancient Avengers, they battled the first Celestial host, and we find them standing before it, right? And then we get a nice 2-page spread cutting to Earth's Mightiest Heroes, Avengers, the final host title. And 2 pages, that's it. And it says Jason Aaron and Ed McGuinness are in charge of this. So Jason Aaron does the writing, of course, and Ed McGuinness does the art. And you may remember Ed from a number of Marvel works, but I really came to know him with the ongoing Deadpool Spider-Man series. Yes, that's on my pull list. I do love his art, and I think what he does in this volume of Avengers is uncanny. It looks great. So after the nice intro, we cut to present-day Earth, and the thing I like about this issue number 1 is that it goes back to the original trio, the OGs, the original gangsters, and it opens up with Thor, Iron Man, Captain America in a bar. No, Tony's not drinking, and with Captain America and Thor they're just trying to get Tony on board. They want him on board with assembling the Avengers once again. So all 3 of these members had a rough go prior to the Legacy reboot. For example, Tony was in a coma, Thor was unworthy, and he just recently got his godliness back from Jane Foster, and that run was awesome. I have all of them. I might do a review on those too. And Captain America was Hydra, or Hydra Kappa, Hydra Cap. And while they acknowledge this, they show that they're ready to move forward with their lives. My favorite part of this scene is that Thor refers to Tony and Steve as his brothers, and that they have to embrace their destiny of once again being Earth's mightiest heroes. And I think that's awesome. So before they can finish their conversation, Tony's artificial intelligence, or AI, or assistant, he refers to it as motherboard, interrupts them and tells them imminent danger is on its way, and it was actually only 200 miles away. So already things are getting intense. So as the trio is about to assemble, the issue cuts to Doctor Strange and the Black Panther 2 miles below the South Africa plains. And in issue 0, we learn that Loki played a part in releasing the Celestials' remains that were buried there. So Black Panther is hellbent on getting to the bottom of what Odin told him about in issue 0. So check out my last recap video if you haven't seen it yet, or if you don't know what's going on. Doctor Strange makes it clear that whatever was down there was beyond powerful, and that the magic spells that kept the Celestials' remains safe were made possible by the previous Sorcerer Supreme, Agamotto's magic. So Doctor Strange warns T'Challa that whatever is or was down there was bigger than them, and that they needed the Avengers. However, T'Challa counters that with the fact that there are no Avengers. So he understood that the million years before them, that they brought them into the fold as far as their ancestors. So I'm talking about how the Wakandian, Black Panther, and Sorcerer Supreme, Agamotto, they were involved. So their ancestors were. So next, we cut to a page with Robbie Reyes in East LA. In this one page, we can see his struggle with the events of Marvel Legacy #1. Okay, so if you haven't read it, it's pretty good, I guess. Yeah, it's good. And it was mostly centered around Robbie Reyes' Ghost Rider. So it kind of retconned Robbie Reyes' Ghost Rider's story, and it made it more along the lines of the Robbie Reyes that we got to see in the 4th season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I highly recommend. That's a great show. Alright, in a nutshell, Robbie's Ghost Rider involved the spirit of vengeance. When we first saw this Ghost Rider, it was more a revenge-driven Ghost Rider, and that was completely separate from the Spirit of Vengeance Ghost Rider that we've seen in the Nick Cage movies, or, you know, the classic 90s Ghost Rider, which I loved. And it only took one page of storytelling and art to let us know that Robbie Reyes is going through a major internal conflict. So that was it. The next page is a one-page spread of Jennifer Walters, She-Hulk, walking through Manhattan, and she keeps herself from hulking out and beating on some creeps that were just messing with her. And that was it. So I think having only 2 pages total for these future members of the current Avengers at this point in the issue was pretty good for the pacing of the story. And we cut to Captain Marvel and the Alpha Flight Station, and the action picks up as large warp holes were opening up nearby to the station. Captain Marvel takes on a celestial head on firing a beam of energy at a large hand reaching through the warp hole, or teleportation nexus referred to by the motherboard. And the shot of that hand coming out makes everything feel intense all of a sudden. We cut to the original Avengers on Earth, and the sky's lit up with the wormholes. They were appearing all over the place, all over the sky. So after that, we go back to Doctor Strange and Black Panther. They stumble upon a cavern filled with pods, and it's filled with dormant life in these shells. So although a few of them were found open and empty, so what happened? We cut back to more Robbie Reyes, and this elaborates on those events. And we also see that he's struggling with the events from Legacy #1, such as fighting Starbrand and using the Penance Stare for the first time. And we watched Robbie transform into the Ghost Rider and battle the creatures that appear to have hatched from the empty shells that we just saw Doctor Strange and Black Panther with. So we cut back to them, and the dormant shells that were full began hatching, and the same types of creatures charged for them. So now these 3 Avengers are battling those creatures. The action's so good in this issue. I'm immediately hooked, and then I'm looking forward to the rest of it. So cutting back to the original Avengers, Thor, Iron Man, Captain America, Celestial falls out of the sky, but it lands in the Hudson River. The thing is, it was already dead. Captain Marvel flew down with it, and when they ask her if she killed the Celestial, she responds with the fact that all she did was keep it from landing on Times Square. So because of her, it was in the Hudson River instead of Times Square. It was already dead. Plot twist. We cut to the sky, and there were hundreds of dead Celestials falling from the other holes, or wormholes, and Alpha Flight calls out to anyone and everyone on Earth's surface, asking them to prepare for the falling Celestials. This is epic. This is like Avengers 1 stuff. I don't know. So as the Avengers fight to keep the Celestials from harming anyone, the question Iron Man begs to question is, what the hell is strong enough to kill them? What is it? And the question is answered when we cut to a 2-page spread of our first appearance of the final host and a couple of other people, or bad guys, standing with them. How epic is that? The final page is of Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America yelling the classic phrase, "Avengers Assemble." That was it. All that happened in issue #1. Okay, YouTube, I can honestly say that with this being a bi-weekly series, that's not a bad way to open the new volume. You can tell Jason Aaron knows his stuff and that he actually cares about these characters. I mean, he's still running Thor, And let me go on without saying, or with saying, that the art was amazing. To tell a story in just one issue, to be able to form the Avengers, and to introduce the bad guys and make them seem formidable is pretty great. So I know at the time of this recording there are 11 more issues already. Shame on me because I've been buying them weekly or bi-weekly, but I haven't been reading them. But I will be now. And so what? I have a huge pull list. I'm catching up on classics at the same time. So with each one of these episodes, I read the issue for the first time. I then go back, do my little review notes, and as I turn each page, I'll jot down what I want to talk about. So that's what we're doing here. So what do you think, YouTube? Are you with me on this journey? Are you gonna watch all the rest of the episodes? I'll be doing this for several modern titles as well as diving back into back issues. So I'm looking forward to doing this. I'm in it to win it. Thanks for watching. If you're still here, please spread the word. And of course, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you know when these new episodes are coming out. And that's it. That's all I got. This is Errol, the Comic Chief, going offline.